Hey YouTube, Rob Brinded here. I'm going to be doing a video on how not to waste your time or how not to waste your life. I think this is when you start looking at this idea of wasting time and how the mind works and how not to waste it or how to do the opposite, which is optimize your life, I think most people will say that that's the most valuable thing that they can do. It's the most valuable thing for their life. How do I know that? Because I have so many clients who come to me, and some of them they'll have more money than I ever could have. We're talking billionaires, and they come to me, and I think their biggest problem of, let's say, the high net worth individual people is that their work-life balance is not good. They know it. So what they're realizing is that they're missing out on what's valuable. Now, their whole setup on the hamster wheel, like I'm talking high achievers here, they're set up on the hamster wheel on the right. If you don't know about the hamster wheel, you'll get my book next week and it will completely transform your life. I'm very confident of that. So it'll explain to you what the hamster wheels are, how to use them, how to look for them, how to play the game. So the high net worth individuals or the high achievers, they're set up to be as valuable as possible. That's how they get their needs met. They don't get them met, but that's how they think they get them met. Is it just them? No, everyone is set up on old programming, old operating system that runs everyone, and the high achievers are set to a yang dominant, which is always doing, always working, and they're extremely focused on what is valuable and being valuable. And there's certain traits which comes with that. Is they like to be right, which is useful. They're extremely able. They focus on being able. They're very good at supporting themselves. They love gaining, and they pay attention to what's valuable, and they pay attention to themselves. So that comes with an imbalance, and that imbalance is part of the game that always gets found out, and they attract the opposite of those words, which are being wrong, being unable, being ignored, loss, and wrong. I think I've said those right. So what happens is they're set up on the right and they hate the left. They hate the left side of the hamster wheel. Now, they spend all their time focused on what's the most valuable thing for them. And when they speak to me, they say, oh my God, I spend no time with my kids. Even when I'm with my kids, I'm not present. And I think that's a real big problem right now. And I think if you're watching this, hopefully you are watching this, you're going to know that staying present is a superhuman skill, and it is a trap. There's a trap there that even the most intelligent people fall into because of the way the mind works. So let me say that again. We are all we want to live fully and with passion and all the senses and be present. And then when I'm, me being a father, when with my kids, I want to be present and experience that moment. But the human condition, the human mind is set up to constantly be on a hamster wheel of trying to gain, trying to be able, trying to be right, trying to pay attention to the right thing, and trying to gain. So there's 5. So the mind is in charge. And so when you get a moment where you're say with your kids, what's going to happen is your mind will take over as a defense system and make you start to think about, oh, I should be doing more. Oh, I need to do that. I need to pay attention to that. Oh, I was wrong about that. And so what happens is you drift into the future or the past and you go asleep. And so in my family, my girls, if I do that, they go like that. So they're aware. We call it 4 eyes. So when my daughter, I'll say, oh, just imagine this. And I tell a story and I see her go. And so she goes away and imagines it. So she's not really present because I say, hey, Lima. And she doesn't hear me. She's not present, which is fine because she's using her creativity. But if you watch most people, if you're going to work in the morning, you look at most people in the car or on the train or whatever, they're completely away. They're completely zombie. So there's a 1 and a 0 here. You're either present or you're not. So when you waste your time is when you're not present. So when your mind comes in and takes over these operating systems, which I call hamster wheels, when they come in and take over, you waste your life. But the mind is saying, no, you've got to do this. Otherwise you'll waste your life. Like you need to gain more. That is the trap. That is the trap of the game. So I have these, high net worth individuals and they're saying, yeah, I'm not happy. I don't enjoy anything. I can't be present. I drink too much. I smoke. Drinking alcohol, all of the vices are ways to go out of the mind. So it's another way not to be present. You're not fully present with, drugs and alcohol. And they're like, how do I, why is my life so shit? Why do I drink so much? Why I'm a billionaire. Why do I put coke up my nose until it almost falls out? Why? Well, it's because of the mind. And the mind, ironically, is making you think that through the mind you will gain everything. But in fact, you lose everything because it's a mechanical, old programming. That's the game. That's the game. That's kind of like the fun. That's playing the game. When you can play the game on your own terms, which is what my book Glitch talks about, you can move into what I call admin mode, and you can start to observe the nature of these systems and how they're there tricking you and how they control you and how they control everyone on the planet. So we want to understand the truth, and the truth will set you free. This is the game. So it's super exciting. I mean, this is available to you. When I kind of came across this, discovered it, it was Krishnamurti who sort of made me realize that to understand the mind and how it works, you have to, really observe it. And through doing that, it was quite tricky. And there's a lot of people I've read, even David Bohm, Einstein's student, said Krishnamurti's work is really difficult to get hold of. And so what I was doing is my forte maybe is finding patterns and seeing simple patterns and explaining them to people. And so doing this very demanding and complex work, and it is the hardest. The highest form of intelligence is being able to observe your own thoughts and mind without commenting. So this is a next level. And so if you're ready to be free of your mind and to live fully, you have to take responsibility and do this work. And my book explains it simply how to do it. So what I did was I showed these simple patterns that are there to see. When you see them, you can't unsee them. And that's when you change, because you're in admin mode, you're working on your code, and then your reality changes. Your reality changes. There's no separation. This is like a VR game. You may go, oh, where's the science behind that? And you just look. There's no one's going to help you. There's nothing out there. No teachers, or there's no science or books to show you what's going on inside of you. So this is wonderful, sovereign work. You free yourself. So how do you not waste your life? Well, as let me not quote, paraphrase Sylvester Stallone in his documentary Sly. If you watch that, it's classic Hamster Wheel. He said, and he's in his 80s, right? He said, I've spent my whole life trying to be valuable and gain love. It's all part of the hamster wheel. Valuable, value, able is the thing, the next step down from full love, connection, belonging, your needs being met, because no one's got their needs met. So everyone's focused, and the schooling system and society and social media reinforces these hamster wheels. And so he said, I've spent my whole life, trying to be valuable to my audience and for them to love me, to realize just now that I was missing out on the most valuable thing in my life, which were my children and my wife, the things that are there right in front of you. So, as you know, as you've probably seen, if you ask someone on their deathbed, what do they wish they'd done? They would have spent less time working, more time connecting. So not wasting their life on overworking or just fundamentally not being present. So you waste your life when you go into your mind, and you're fully present is where you absolutely connect with all the wonders of life and the colors and the senses, and you wake up and your energy levels go whoo. Yeah, so whoo. So this is it. Like, this is an important video because people are going to waste their life because they don't realize that mind is not real. It's just mechanical. Yeah, and when you realize that and you move into admin mode or decentralized mind and you watch the centralized mind at work, you realize that it's not intelligent. It's just mechanical operating system that was created a long time ago. So last thing is, if you want to do the opposite of waste your life, you need to go into this work. There's no other way. You might be 20 and you go, so this, I want to be, blah, 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 ego, blah, 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 billionaire, whatever. I promise you at some point in the decades to come, you're going to realize that it was an illusion. And I work with those people in their 60s, 70s, usually 50s, 60s, 70s, where they go, this is just bullshit. I keep going on these wheels where I try to gain and then I lose. It's just weird. Whenever I try and be more able, I'm less able, or I'm trying to be so able as a father, but I'm unable to be present because I'm trying so hard to work. So there are these hamster wheels that become so obvious the decades that go on. They tie you up more and more. That's when you start to go, you know what? This life is pointless. Like, I don't get any enjoyment. I am not enjoying life. I'm constantly stressed, worried, on the hamster wheel. And so when you step off, which is what my book Glitch, it's called Glitch, the 5 programs that run you and how to debug them. This is awesome. This is what I've done to completely transform myself. I also talk about remineralizing the battery of your body to give you the energy that you need to do this work. Look out for that book. It's next week. I'm going to have it on a website. You can buy it in Bitcoin. I'm going to have an option to buy the PDF off my website, self-published, or an option to go to Amazon. So please keep an eye out for that. I'm going to try and post more on YouTube because it gives me a chance to talk about these critical issues more and share this work, which needs to, it's the solution to everyone's problem. Physical, mental, emotional problems, all the suffering, all the wasting life and not living life fully, all come down to this one area of understanding the mind and how to step off the hamster wheels. So I will post when I'm launching, and I'll put the link to the website. I have a cool quiz I'm going to have on there that shows you where you're left or right on the hamster wheel. So look out for that. And any comments, please post them below. I will get back. Thanks so much.